Roll dice, be nice, and stay tuned. This is the Live to Die podcast.
Hey everyone, Jason reminded me that we found an awesome TikTok we were sharing. One of the older, I think D&D, it was either first or second edition D&D references that like you should consult other books for how certain things would work. And there was a really great library that made a TikTok about like, does that mean every book is a D&D rule book? And so you're like, oh, that'd be a great opening question of like, what?
That's my nightmare.
What book would you want? Like what books? Have you ever used like non-D&D books, like researching or looking into like something for a role-playing game? And if you don't want to answer that, you could answer what book, if you had to, what non-rule book would you want to like look up and use as a resource in the middle of, or like while working on or playing a role-playing game?
Does it have to be a rule book?
No, it could be any book. What
So,
book would you want to use for a rule
getting
book?
like a physics book would definitely.
Yeah, like I'm not looking for you to like game it and give me what's the most
We all
technically
need to know
right
how
answer.
to calculate a parabola for this game.
Yeah.
But like what are books? I guess so. Like I'll say, because like I've already mentioned a ton of them. Like when I was looking at the kingdom building, I started looking up and reading a couple of research papers published by anthropologists talking about different type of home construction or dwelling constructions across Northern Europe. And the papers were about something else, but they were referencing that as a secondary thing. So like I have frequently looked up that. I think I've mentioned before that I used to do like Society for Creative Anachronism, which does a lot of historical stuff. So like I've used, and actually what I'll say, like GMs, if you want some really interesting names for characters in fantasy games, a couple different countries, England has the Domesday book, but Germany kept really good, well, like what is now modern Germany, kept really good tax rolls. So you could, and there's a lot of places, and honestly, if you look, the Society for Creative Anachronism has kept a lot of these because they use them for documenting historically accurate names. But you can look through tax rolls or like levy rolls from different countries in medieval Europe and just see the names that were there. It's a really, really easy way to find cool historic names. Yeah. It's like one of my favorite that I came across in a German tax roll was the first name Ebewinis, which I think is a hilarious name. So like, anyway, yeah, I've looked through like tax rolls for naming ideas. I've done that. I've looked through like papers talking about like construction techniques and what was used in the area. So those ones I have done.
You're such a journalist.
God damn it. Those are ones I have used that are like not technically D&D rule books. One that I think is hugely influential to me, I forget what it's called, but I have my dad's old Air Force. It's like a spiral bound laminated waterproof survival notebook on like how to make a fire with less smoke, or how to collect condensation in different environments, or how to make shelters, how to make traps, like how to make snares and then skin and cook animals safely.
Wow.
How to make like things to deal with glare and sunglasses out of like wood, carving slats in them, how to set like bandages. So a lot of stuff like that has informed how I think about parts of D&D, like reading survival guides.
I have something, but it's something I watched and not read to inspire some ideas for Ari's character. I recently watched WrestleMania. Because I was like, I don't know, this might give me, because sometimes you're like, oh, describe how this happens. And I was like, she did just take Titan Wrestler. So I was like, I'm going to watch The Rock beat someone up.
Yeah. Amazing.
The Rock is a bad guy now. Too.
Yeah, he's a bad guy.
Cool.
That's great.
I love that your answer on what else is a D&D rulebook, and you're like, hear me out.
WrestleMania.
Like, you're not a nerd at all.
Jane,
right? That might be the best answer.
Jane, noted WrestleMania fan.
Yeah, now I am. No, it got like recommended to me on like social media, and I was like, wait a minute, this is literally just my D&D character.
I think mine would be Alexis de Tocqueville's The Ancien Regime and the Revolution.
I knew it was going to be something like this.
So,
I don't even know what that means.
It's
I know some of those words individually.
Yeah, I know some of these words. It's really just him looking back about the French Revolution and like thinking about what were the causes of it, like in, looking back in that way.
Sure.
I don't know, it's like hard to explain, but which I think is the way history is actually written. Like we write about the events that are happening, but then eventually you have to like put those into a whole theory of what transpired and what were the forces that led to it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
One day you're going to GM a game for me and I'm going to lose my life in it. Just being like, all right, so dude, honestly, at some point you and Rory just need to run a fucking game together. I've been playing in an old school Essentials game that he's been running. And like the notes this man keeps, like I'm going to go down a little bit of a rabbit hole, but I'll keep it in under 90 seconds because we're recording a podcast. Literally, I don't get to play a ton of games, so it's really fun to play in his. And like right now, the whole plot thing is that the current regional leader has died, and a friend of that family who still has a lot of the support of the local people who are in power is making a push for the next vote of the local leaders that will come together. But a new person has come in with a trading area that is trying to build a road to establish a new trade route. However, it's having some repercussions due to some words that's being spread around by the others. So we're trying to launder money is the big thing we're doing in that game.
Of course.
But we are trying to do so through a political campaign that we think we can help get to take one of the local regional fiefdoms, which will make it easier for us. And like, this is the most you and Rory fucking thing
that's
ever.
some Northern Italy shit for sure. Yeah.
As soon as it was like, you have to build a kingdom and decide on the right form of government, we were all just like, so Trent?
I've got this covered, guys.
Trent's like, I'm going to play Crusader Kings with my friends in paper.
I can't think of one recently. I can think like the very first D&D campaign I played in, I think it's 3.5 or 3.0.
Yeah.
Was my first D&D experience. I got pigeonholed by my brother as the cleric.
Because you're the new, that's such a like older brother thing to be like, we need a healer. You're going to play our cleric.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't know what that means, but okay, that's fine.
Means the best.
And it was like a little bit of the herbalism background. And I remember like totally like Stranger Things, going to the library and getting like little almanacs of like, plant life and just like little
Neville Longbottom.
That is just that's just adorable.
So sweet.
Right.
Yeah.
It's super nerdy, but
No, that's adorable.
but yeah, that's probably like what I thought of.
You're
first.
one of the most wholesome people I know.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I think the
It's
most
kind of
wholesome
upsetting.
person.
We need someone to balance us out.
That's why we're Ryan.
It's kind of a cool thing. This is one of those things Rory's talked to me about, and I can't remember the exact details, but I feel like one of the really, really, really early versions of how people played kind of what would become D&D as we know it was people taking, because originally D&D was chainmail, which was a like more of a combat game. It was sort of an evolution of wargaming. And then I think it was Avalon Hill had, because like there's a really interesting old, like basically simulation. Game is the wrong word. Avalon Hill was sort of famous for publishing these games in which it'd be like, so I'm going to do an attack like this. So I'm going to roll on this table, and then I'm going to add a result from this table. So then I'll go to page this and roll on this table with those results. And Avalon Hill had a like wilderness survival game simulator that people sort of meshed in with parts of chainmail to start doing the like overland survival parts of D&D.
That's cool.
I think it's something like that. I don't know the exact history. I probably got that wrong, but it is fascinating how just kind of what you just talked about doing, Jared, like is kind of what people playing it. If you ever read Cryptonomicon, which is a phenomenal 1,000-page book, there's like I have to be honest. There's a great bit though where they talk about how some of these characters played D&D in like the 80s and like got really into it and started writing their own rules for survival based on how many calories you burn during the day and like what different survival techniques would need to offset the caloric deficit.
Oh yeah.
Cryptonomicon's a phenomenal book. I cannot highly enough recommend it, but I do want to give you the caveat that like if you're an audiobook reader, it's like have a fun 44 hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jason, what about you? What book have you used or are you going to use as a rule book?
Couldn't think of one, so I went with kind of a fun answer.
Oh, I like it.
Mastering the Art of French Cooking by Julia Child.
Oh, that's a great one.
Yeah.
Honestly, this is the perfect campaign for that.
I was
too.
thinking, like,
Yeah.
what would Nikolai use? Like a cookbook? He would have a cookbook in his bag.
And that would be the
Fish on
cookbook
a
The
stick.
French
specifically.
style, yeah. It's like, let's elevate these fish on a stick.
Yeah, chef.
Ryan, do you want to come over here and talk about how many watch lists you probably put yourself on by researching Delta Green stuff?
Talking about Delta Green. Delta Green's a whole different can of worms.
Is like you need the dark web.
Also, I guess I
look up
should
a bunch of
say
stuff for that also.
I should say that like we don't just randomly have Ryan in, who all of you know from our amazing side episode here just for fun. We'll have some stuff coming down the pipeline. Ryan is not just a generic studio audience now.
He also gets our coffee.
Yeah,
He's our intern.
all right, Ryan. What's
intern?
The first thing that came to mind is like character specific, and here's like a little thing is N.K. Jemisin's 5th season and so on. Those books.
Oh, dude, those books rule.
Yeah, just because I really like the way she world builds and stuff like that. But I think Reddit. I don't know why. It's just what I thought of. It's just because Jason mentions researching for Delta Green.
Oh, God.
And
Reddit's the place to do that.
I recently reran for like the 7th time the starter scenario for
It's
my
so
game
good.
group.
It might be one of the best starter scenarios.
There is a version on Reddit that somebody rekit for the Bay Area, San Francisco, and then Yosemite.
Oh.
That is just, I'm talking pictures. Like they've made it because it's a starter set. It's not fleshed out. It's a starter set. Word count's really a big thing. But this thing is like, there's like 3 different Reddit posts. So you got to kind of reference all 3 in like a triangle shape
with
delta,
red
right?
string connecting them. Yeah.
But it was really wonderful. So I think just like
There's a green string.
Yeah. As a game master, I am heavily do publish content because that's just the way my brain works. It's easier for me, but I always lean on the people that seem to have much more time available than I do to like, oh my goodness, this is really genius. How do they think about it?
Jane.
Yeah. Just lots and lots of time. No, lots and lots of time. So, just like, So other people's research. Yeah.
Awesome. I will say like that's an interesting thing for me when I'm getting ready to run a new RPG, because I love running new RPGs. Like it's one of my favorite things to like learn a new rule system, or to say like, I think I've roped most of you in at one point or another. Be like, just make characters and Traveler with me. It's very fun. Just roll on the charts and make Traveler characters with me. But one of the first things I'll usually do is look to see if I can find like an actual play or like someone else's research on it. And not to do too many call back to ourselves, but I got a message or a comment on our Patreon the other day from someone who says like, "Oh, I'm prepping the Stag Lord fight as well. It's really cool to see how all of you handled it." And it feels really weird.
Probably the worst way to handle it.
Yeah, probably.
It feels really weird for me. And it feels really cool to be like, oh, when someone is going, oh, I want to run Kingmaker, like I want to get some ideas for it, that some people are now listening to us play Kingmaker for that. And
that's fun.
Hopefully.
That's about what not to do.
Yeah. Hopefully the takeaways you can learn that.
Poison on the Stag Lord. It doesn't work.
If you want to be good at this game.
I still think it was a phenomenal idea.
It's DC 17. It's not high enough.
I think his bonus is like plus 14.
I just listened to those episodes and it was like, where like, the Stag Lord's like, murderers, and comes out. And then Lucky and I both just assumed that it would take him a while to get there. And in the next episode, James is like, so Arya and Lucky, you're trapped in this room with 18 bandits and the Stag Lord. And we were like, what?
Where did he come from?
Where did he go?
I also remembered like trying to stick to the bit just a little too long.
I
really didn't want to fight.
Lucky was like, those guys we brought in are murderers.
I just finished reading Dragonfire, the 3rd of the
is that the
Dark Prophet Saga, the Orconomics?
Yeah.
There's a joke in there that one of the worst bits to do is the dress like a henchman bit, and go and like try to infiltrate and convince everyone that you're a bad guy like everyone else.
I've got to get back to that series.
Dude, the 3rd book is like 700 pages long, but it's super good.
Hell,
you would like him too.
Yes,
we talked about him in the car a little bit. I think just the social commentary.
That reminds me of The Wire. Whenever Bubbles is like describing to the cops why they look like cops when they're trying to be dressed up.
I thought you were going to say you're bringing The Wire in as your D&D rule set.
Honestly, yes.
And I mean, yeah.
For the drug bust, for sure.
Well, I said season 1 True Detective for Ari's drug bust.
I mean, it's also just like they're sort of bumbling through police work, which is kind of what we do in this whole kingdom right now.
If we have Live to Die bingo, Trent bringing up The Wire is definitely a square.
It's so good. Let's watch all of it.
Is the free square me mentioning China Mayville?
Yes.
Yeah.
Happens once again.
That's the free square.
Jason talking about Star Wars or Orconomics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Star
Jared
Wars
being
is
sweet.
Jared being so wholesome. It's hard.
Jared continuing to wow us with his good personality.
Being the nicest among us.
But speaking of Among Us, it sounds like you might have another man-eater among your city.
Emergency
she's a
meeting.
I
man.
thought you were going to say imposter.
I was going to say, sucks for you guys.
Get out your notebook. Start taking minutes.
Because you're talking to Arvin, your Snoop Dogg fisherman,
Love it.
who's
This
just
is after his Martha Stewart days.
maybe during. I don't know. He's doing a lot of fishing. He maybe cooks something up good for you. He's gonna let you know, like, oh, he's made it here. Oh, Crackjaw.
Who's that?
Oh, you haven't heard about old Crackjaw?
No.
Oh, he's a beast. Big as a horse, they say.
Is he a fish?
No fish like him. Eats fish like toothpicks. So small for
Is he
him.
Who
like
eats
a
fish on a
Yeah,
stick?
you'd be eating toothpick.
giant? Is he a
big.
giant?
A big jaw. So sharp, could snap you right in half.
Is he an alligator?
Sort of. He's a giant snapping turtle.
Oh,
Oh,
Are you serious?
Big as a horse.
you're afraid of a turtle?
As a horse?
Yeah, so he goes on to explain.
can I use fishing lore to see if he's making up these measurements?
Yeah, give me what's your fish plus 10 is your fishing
You
lore?
don't have to use fishing.
That's
lore, we
six.
know.
It's literally just a turtle.
Yeah, it's a regular sized turtle.
No, so you've actually
Oh, there he
heard-
is.
So there are snapping turtles up here.
Look at his teeth.
Look how big he is. But you have heard of old Crackjaw is fucking infamous, and it has been like a little bit of like maybe not not like a folk tale, but like, and yeah, the measurements he's saying he might be underselling it. This is a
He's
like
listen, he's not fucking around. Crackjaw is a legend.
I must ride Crackjaw.
A giant turtle.
Honestly, that would be
a
the best thing.
hook jaw turtle.
A hook jaw. It's a hook jaw turtle.
So now you know that like where you are is the hook tooth sloth or whatever, like the sort of the aquatic region you're in. So like there are. You were just in the South recently, Jason. You know what I'm talking about when I say like a snapping turtle, like a
Yes.
southern
Yes.
fuck you
I grew
weird
up in
dinosaur
Tennessee,
snap.
like fucking,
Oh yeah,
like I gotta go to the hospital
Those fuckers are
and
huge.
lose this arm now. Snapping turtles.
so imagine if one of those was the size of like almost a horse.
That's scary.
Hate that.
I don't
Yeah.
want us to kill it though. I want us to make it our friend.
Yeah.
Narvin's like, he's killed so many over the years.
Oh, but that was probably their fault, if we're being honest.
Yeah, like a hippopotamus, they kill lots of people, but it's not really their fault.
Yeah.
It's just what they be doing.
They just be crushing
It's
heads.
just
what
be
hippos
eating
do.
Are any of you Last Week Tonight watchers?
every once in a while.
There was a bit a couple of years ago when they did a whole little video about hippos being like so dangerous
Yeah.
and horrible. And there's a great outtake where one of the famous actors they have
It's
coming in
Betty
doing.
White.
Is it Betty White?
Yes.
And
They try to get her to say hippos are fucking killing machines. And she just goes, hippos are fucking machines.
great outtake. They're fucking
Love it.
machines.
I'm pretty sure it's Betty White.
It's someone elegant.
She's like an old lady.
In the canon of our world, it was Betty White.
All right. So yeah, now I'm just Jason. You'll have to take notes of this somewhere else. But you have a new quest.
Okay.
That damn turtle.
That damn turtle.
That damn turtle. He gives you information about where to find it. It's on the southeast corner of the lake that your kingdom is on. It's a whole hex away from you, 2 hexes away from you.
Write
But,
a song about Crackjaw the turtle.
Old Crackjaw. So you have that quest now. He does also tell you about a path because the southeast portion of the lake that you're on is a pretty steep cliff face covered with a lot of brambles, but he does kind of give you notes because it's a favorite fishing spot of his. And he's like, look, he can just relocate. He's like, if he's moved over to this body of water, like it's bad. And if he decides that he's hungry and comes up here in town, he'll murder. It'll be people, women, children,
Have
animals.
you seen any other type of animals? Like, I don't know, a werewolf?
Where?
Tiger.
A windwolf?
2 days ago. No, he's like, no, I'll mostly just stick to the water, cast a reel here and there, pull it in. I've seen you fishing. I like that. I like a leader who knows how to fish, shows patience.
Well,
Shows
thank you.
thoughtfulness.
I am both of those things.
Can tell.
And humble.
And humility is also in there.
Sign. I am the most humblest. Number one at the top of the humble list.
Arvin, I would probably not fish at night for a while.
Oh, no, he sleeps at night. He only comes out every 3.5 hours.
There are some other threats at night that we're keeping everyone in town
Like
aware.
the tides. Comes in every 3.5 hours.
You sound like Quint from Jaws.
You know me.
Y'all know me.
You know what I do for a living. You know what? Hard campaign pivot. We're just doing Jaws and
I was
Pathfinder.
gonna say, let's do a C episode.
A C rank? We should at least
I'm in.
B tier.
Jaws.
I just learned about the Sea Lord.
Sea Lord.
You know, speaking of the Ryan episodes, I still can't get over how much, because what Ryan's character's like position, because you're
This is a boatswain.
the boatswain, but you once had Ryan's character come in and you abbreviated it boat,
Boats.
and I just really thought that you were like, you're just like, I'm just saying the name of a noun that he likes, like boats.
Hey,
Like,
boats.
It'd be like if people saw me and they were like, games. I just never got rid of
Oh,
that.
Jimmy Games.
Jimmy Games.
Barefoot Jimmy Games.
I gotta love that. All right.
Can I make one more reference
Should be
to
your
that
Twitter
side arc
handle. Barefoot Jimmy Games.
Actually, yes. Go for it,
before
Jane.
we move on? I listened to the side arc when I was away and was texting all of them that were in it.
Oh my
and
god,
said,
this is amazing.
There was just this text exchange that I said, the ex-lover romantic tension between Lady Letitia and Captain Bosk is palpable. I'm pretty sure this is a long game to bring him in as a recurring NPC in Arthur's new dad. Ryan just goes, keep listening. Oh, fuck, he just died. Because within
Like
2.5 minutes,
Yeah, like a
I'm
minute
listening
later.
along and he gets murdered.
Yep.
Yeah, it was pretty great. It's
Spoilers
pretty,
if you haven't listened to the side quest.
That aired like 10 episodes ago.
Yeah, go listen to it.
I was laughing at my dumbass in this last episode. Like, I hope we don't spoil the Super Bowl.
We were like, Jason, that's not how time works.
That's not how it works.
Oh my god, it's amazing.
Yeah, the best thing about this podcast is just listening back to all the funny things your friends say.
Or yourself. Do you ever listen to something that you say and you're like, I don't remember saying that at all?
Oh, all the time. I'm like, do I
Literally
just
all the
black out the whole time we
I
record these?
disassociate
Yeah.
the entire time. I'm editing it and I'm like,
That's
God,
not
I'm
me.
the worst.
I
So what all next? You'd
think
also
we should wait on the man-eater.
Yeah, I think we need to just put a pin in that.
One problem at a time.
Should we try and follow his tracks during the day?
Should circle back in January.
The werewolf tracks?
Yeah, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I even if they've faded a little bit, like I have an idea where they went. Maybe we can see if it turns back around. And has he come home?
No, remember you spent a day looking. You can
Mhm.
spend more time in town if you want, but you spent a day, no one's seen him, you didn't see him.
This is the beginning of the second day, right?
Yeah, this is the next day.
So I think after finding out that this is not the monster we're looking for,
Gonna have to come back to that
yeah,
one.
we'll come back to this monster. We really picked a great place to settle.
We'll deal with that later.
Werewolves and
I mean-
giant snapping turtle.
Yeah.
Like
Fun.
once again, I'm telling you, like for those of you who've been like watching Deadwood, like
Yeah.
bears and wolves are a fucking issue, much less fantastical creatures. So like
Right.
I don't think it's that you're like, oh, I picked a bad spot. Like there's a reason no one has already settled out here because it's not
exactly.
easy.
I do like the idea of taking down notes like turtle, horse, got it.
Arthur's note keeping
that on the
system is just
agenda.
the weirdest thing.
He
Yeah.
draws emojis in there.
There's so much playing this game
Doodles.
where I'm like, this world sucks. Like it would
Yeah.
suck to live in so
For
bad.
sure.
It's like when you read the Harry Potter books and it's like, who sends their kids here?
Yeah, right.
But it's like, who lives in Galarian? Like,
Yeah.
What's the other option?
death. You just kill yourself.
Okay.
It's kind of the
got
nihilist way
dark.
to live in Galarian.
To live and die quickly in Galarian. Yeah, so you want to go try and find those tracks again?
Yeah, I
All right, who's go? I will allow up to 2 assists, and I'm going to say that it will take. You're going to spend 6 hours,
Woof.
and you can get 2 assists.
do. Did you say wolf? It's too early for that.
Survival?
So yeah, you could argue to assist with other things, but the more I'm going to use Blades in the Dark rule, the more appropriate the role, the easier the DC.
I get a bonus with the Coyote Cloak. So if you guys want to assist mine.
Yeah, assist is fine.
Okay.
And Jane, it is
Perception?
your prey. So you
Oh,
also,
right.
you're hunted prey.
Totally forgot about that. So can I do
remembered something.
perception?
Give me one of your patches. Just kidding.
Yeah, can I do perception? Then?
You could do perception because I'm going to say because it's your hunted prey. I'll let you use perception at a DC 15 to
Yeah,
aid.
which is I think what hunted prey does, because I think it's like you're seeking or tracking, which I think would
Tracking is
be
only survival, but seeking in general. I'm just basically going to give you some bonuses there. Trent, what was your assist roll?
24 trained.
Trained. Okay, so just a success right now. Let's see if Jane can do better than you.
okay. 20.
Nope. All right, so you get a +1, Jason. What's your total bonus? As I roll this giant
11.
wizard's
So
chest die.
12.
12. Oh, okay. Jane, stop looking at the GM screen.
I saw it.
Good or bad?
It's good. It's good.
You
It's
spend,
really good.
Nice, good. Keep doing that.
You spend the first couple hours following the trail, intermittently losing it as it goes over patches. However, as you're heading kind of west, and it's pretty slow, right? You're tracking. You eventually hit a rocky boulder field, and you are able to follow it to that boulder field quite well. But it's in the boulder field. You lose those tracks. You also know that like Kundal was a hunter, a trapper, so you're not sure how much of this is intentional or luck, but a rather large boulder field. And you can spend an hour or two like looking around the edge of the boulder field, but it's big enough. There's enough change and debris where the trail has gone cold here. Now you're not wildly far from the Skunk River that's traveling westward into the forests where you heard the gnome patrol was the gnome expedition was last seen.
Okay.
Maybe the werewolf got eaten by the snapping turtle, and we can just call that a draw.
It's like
Maybe
that old.
they killed each other.
Yeah.
I think that old fossil of the Triceratops and is it like a raptor or something? It's like the Triceratops is goring one while the other is like scraped it.
Mhm.
Does anyone else know what I'm talking about? That pretty famous fossil?
I think so.
Never mind.
I think Ari would just be like, okay, it sounds to me like there is not an imminent threat from this werewolf. He seems gone. We can keep an eye out. I think we should maybe pivot our attention to trying to cure our own situation. And
Sure.
maybe since we're already over here, we should try to go find that group of gnomes and see if they have any information that can help us. Because we're
Well,
going to need to
I-
find someone who can do magic.
I think contacting someone outside of Shatter Shield is best because we don't have the capabilities. So maybe if it is Lindsay and Amiri,
She's so cool.
I doubt she's that cool.
She's so cool.
She's pretty
then
cool.
maybe they have
I'm big too. It's,
someone that could help us.
Yeah, and they clearly know a lot about this area.
And if I know anything about bards, it's that they know stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So Lindsay maybe knows something. If it's Lindsay,
Could be anyone.
This
Amiri is
bard
kind of
might know something.
primal, right? She might know some
Yeah.
shit.
Okay.
Maybe her free archetype is wizard. I
That would
don't
be
know.
so great.
Be very convenient.
I wonder if she's finished our memoirs yet.
Of the night you guys spent together?
Wasn't she writing about us? Like about how we
Lindsay?
yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
she was like writing about how we saved the people in the manor.
well, geez, it kind of sounds like once you meet up with her, I could just leave.
Yeah, actually, you've got a point.
No.
Okay, well, I guess let's go find her then.
Nikolai whispers to Ari and he's like, have you ever seen him be jealous?
No,
before?"
it's so weird, but
It's
I
very
love
weird,
it.
Yes.
And then Ari's just going to like, as we walk, regale Arthur with all the stories of Amiri and Lindsay being so cool and our best friends who we like so much.
She killed a giant.
She killed a
We spent
giant.
like an hour with them.
We arm wrestled. It was so cool.
We drank.
Yeah, we drank a lot together. Actually, they really loved Biff.
That's true.
Oh,
Oh, now I'm sad.
Aw.
Don't you do this to me, Trenton.
Yeah, and I guess we just go
We're going
go
north.
looking for him.
So now you've spent like it's about half the day. If how much like are you all outfitted? Did you all like, saddle up your horses, grab your adventuring packs, or did you
We
sort of
brought
just
in a drama.
We probably did. I mean, assuming we were going to track this thing a good distance.
Yeah, I mean, like narratively for me as the GM, it would be helpful if all of you were kitted for like an
Yeah, I mean-
exploration.
Oh, yeah.
I would have at least brought the horse For sure. Like,
Yeah.
But
who's walking that far?
I think so.
You have like a day or two of
Yeah.
rations
Mhm.
just in case. You left instructions.
Like our go
water
bag.
the plant.
We
feed
left Max damage in charge.
Look out for old Crockjaw.
Feed the fish.
We're like, when all of us are gone, the dog is the ruler.
Wasn't there a Roman?
Caligula
It was a
literally
horse,
made
right?
one of his
Yeah.
horses like a member of his cabinet.
That dude was pretty fucked up. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah.
He was pretty fucked up.
Yes, you don't have the reputation Caligula does, even outside of the horse senator.
Yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, without being a little weird. All right, so you're gonna be working your way west into the forest towards up the old Skunk River, maybe the new Skunk River. You know, there's skunks. There's a river. And I'm gonna show you if I can try to do. So remember, there's the big forest, and you're right on the northern end of this lake. This lake is being fed into by some tributaries. Actually, it's the lake on the northern end is fed into from where you came out of Brevoy, right? And you had to cross the river to the north. One of the other forks of that river went up to the bandit camp that you all dealt with. But there is a westward snaking river, old Skunk River, if you will, old Skunk River, skunk.
Skunk.
Sounds really unpleasant.
Thanks. And you're following this in for the better part of a day. Now you're on horseback, so you probably spend like half a day not really going a whole lot. You're doing pretty slow tracking. But because you've got horses now, you are able to kind of move forward. The easiest way to follow, and if you know they're near, is you can kind of stick nearish the river. Just, you know, the way topography is, it's often clearer. Might be underbrush, but it's often clear-ish near the river. So you're able to work your way down the river. And as we sort of talked about, you're getting into spring at this point, maybe late spring. You're not early summer yet, but like it's gorgeous here, right? There's these rolling foothills, small bits of trees, old boulders. This is an ancient land. This was inhabited by elves before Starfall, even. As you work your way west down this river, the pleasant sound of the running water sort of keeping you company as you work your way through. But it's at some point that you actually start to hear in the distance something in addition to the water. At first, it's just maybe you're like, oh, maybe some rapids are coming up. But then maybe you're hearing like voices. Like heated, emotional. But it's kind of being lost by the sounds of the river.
Should we double time?
Sounds like it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. You quickly work your way ahead, and you're just through the trees as you're sort of coming around a little bit of a bend in the river. You can see a wagon. It sits mired in the middle of a whitewater section of the river, and like, even now you can see that the waters are threatening to overlap the sides of it.
We've run into an Oregon Trail game.
Yeah. And there are
dysentery.
There are two ponies that are hitched to the wagon, like trying to keep their heads above water. The wagon seems so stuck.
It's Mendel and Murdy. Murdy and Mendel.
Okay.
Some of the ponies from The Hobbit.
Ah, okay. And so they're trying to like break out of it, but they can't seem to get there. They're thrashing, they're floundering. The water is threatening to even start to maybe pull the wagon and them into deeper downstream waters. They're starting to panic, and you see two more wagons safely on the far bank. And you see a whole group of gnomes like screaming, and you see a couple that are like chasing. It looks like some small scaly figures off farther to the other side of the river, farther away. You see a gnome sort of at the top of the other river, like screaming something and gesturing, and a few others down near the river, like trying to get him. The water is so fast and so deep. You're maybe 50, 60 feet away. You can't quite make out what's being said now, but you can just see this happening. What do you do?
I'm hauling ass toward the horses.
Yeah. I'll go with Arthur.
All right. So you know what? We're going to move into a like sort of side combat round. Go ahead. Let's roll a little bit of initiative.
Just like a bit of, like, not the whole thing, just a little
Half
bit
of your initiative.
So here's what I'd like. If you're on horseback, you can give me perception or nature to handle animal. Or if you have other, like if you want to argue for another appropriate skill check to roll initiative with here.
Can I roll survival in the way that I'm looking for how to
Yeah, I'll let you roll survival.
get, like, my goal is this river's running fast. If we get in, we're fucked too. Like, how do we solve
Potentially.
this problem? That's a good one.
What do you got?
27.
All right. I don't have my combat tracker set up, so I'm just gonna have to remember this. So Jason, you're 27.
22 for Ari.
Ari 22.
25 for Arthur.
25 Arthur.
27.
Damn.
So we just get to go. Wait, you're 22.
25.
I'm 22.
so
Yeah,
let's
we'll just go
clockwise
around,
on the
clockwise.
table. That's perfect. So here's what I'm going to say.
You're
Yours is
welcome.
good enough here, Nikolai, where you realize you have 6 rounds before this wagon and the horses are swept downriver into a bowl, which, if anyone knows, like whitewater, like that's a bad thing. It's where it's going to kind of churn and it'll pull them down. Could kill the ponies. It'll destroy the wagon.
Do I get the sense that the wagons are pulling the ponies down?
They're all kind of tangled.
Okay.
You'll need to get a better look at what's going on, but it'll be hard to move the.
I'm not athletic at all. I don't need to get in the water.
So, but let's start. So you're,
Yeah.
and we're gonna start. I'm gonna start you right at the river's edge.
Okay.
The wagon is 15 feet. It's a 30-foot across river, some white water. 15 feet, right in the smack dab middle of it is this. What do you want to do,
I'm gonna
Nikolai?
get my rope out.
So interact action to get something out of your pack. 2 actions left. Lucky you'll be next.
Can I wait to see what the more stronger characters do and aid them?
You've already taken 1 action, but
Okay.
here's what you can do. You can either set up an aid, you
Yeah.
can also ready an action. Because you've got 2 actions left.
I'll ready throw in this rope to wherever, like, I'm expecting we're going to have to toss it in and
Fuck
hang
yeah.
on to it.
So here's what I'm going to say.
ready.
I'm going to let you, as a reaction, if anyone like fails a check or something bad happen, you can throw them a rope. They can
Okay.
either use it or grab onto it.
Okay, cool.
All right, Lucky, boom, 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 you ride up back of your horse right behind Nikolai, and you can see this scene. Looks like you can catch a look, your kind of mastermind's eye here. You're seeing that there are the gnomes and a couple other figures you can't see are sort of chasing what looks like the end of some sort of skirmish or raid on the far side of the river away. And you also do note this, the gnomish figure who's kind of shouting, like, helmet's a little bit askew, blood coming down from his face, big black eye, shouting all sorts of conflicting, like, get the horses out of the water, no one touch the horses, move the wagons, leave the wagons behind. And the few gnomes who are trying to help are just like overwhelmed, and they see the 2 of you ride up, Nikolai and Lucky, and they just look, please help us, help, please, the wagon before it goes down, will owe you, please help us, good
Yeah.
sirs.
I
Or
igno-
good sirs or ladies or whatever term you prefer to use. You haven't come across the hill yet. I'm really sorry. I
Wrote
did
the
just
lowest.
accidentally presume pronouns, but we can discuss that later.
You cat person.
Okay.
Here, kitty, kitty.
All right, I turn around.
We're like, now that's too far.
I'll see you later. No, I'll jump from my horse to the back of the wagon, and I will look for valuable things that need to be pulled off the wagon.
So the wagon is 15 feet in the river. You'll have to swim out to it
Oh,
first.
it's way out there?
It's 15 feet into the
Oh,
river.
that's a bad
Are you a
choice.
swimming kitty?
Nope. Nope.
Yeah, I have a -1 in athletics.
How
Like,
far across is the river?
30 feet across. It's in the middle, 15 feet.
Are there like scaly guys running around?
No, so say the river's in the north of you, and then there's like a bank 15, 20 feet on the north side of that. 30, 40 feet north of that embankment, there seems to be the end of some sort of fight of people running away.
Okay.
I
I'll
can still
delay.
hit it.
All right, full delay. All right, Arthur, you ride up.
You say we get 1 action? Is that what we're...
No, you get a full three
I
action
just
turn.
didn't do anything because I'm not athletic.
So I'm right up to the river,
Yep.
jumping off the horse and jumping in the water.
All right, give me some sort of chat. I'll let you. You can either spend an action to dismount and then start your movement, or if you want to give me some
Sure.
sort of action to leave the horse and get into the river, I'll let you keep
No,
make up a little
I'll
distance.
dismount.
Okay, clinical dismount.
And then I want to use Athletic Rush
Oh
for
shit!
the swim action, so get an extra 10 feet of speed
Oh goddamn!
and a +2 bonus to athletic checks to swim.
Holy shit! So you run up. How do you invoke your god in that moment or your pantheon?
Yeah, he would just be like, help me save these poor innocents.
boom, and you feel like the power just
jumping off the
flow
horse.
into you. Ragathiel. I think this song we have used before when you've done some of your stuff. So you just kind of feel it flowing into you. Give me an athletics check to swim.
Holy crap.
I am now totally picturing the guy who plays Reacher as Arthur Jane.
Totally.
This just huge man.
31?
Fuck. So you crit succeed. So I imagine that like you speed up on the horse, stop on a dime, go at that full momentum, and just clinical perfect dismount step there. And it's like watching a diver as you hands up and you just leap into almost comically calm into the water, and you hit it like a fucking diver coming off the podium. And you'll clear that full 15 feet in an action, just like
He's like
dolphin
underwater.
kicking.
Yeah, he's like underwater for a short time. And then by the time he comes up, he's halfway to
like-
the
He does a
thing.
perfect butterfly stroke, and we're all like, wow, that's so
With the
hard.
armor, we see you jump in, we're like, fuck. Oh, shit.
Well, Arthur's gone. Oh my God.
So yeah, I think for a second, like you can just see it. Everyone's like, oh, there's that hold of your breath while he goes underwater and just sinks. And you see like a glimmer of the afternoon, like strong afternoon sun through the water on the armor as your head and both arms just breaking
Slow motion.
butterfly stroke. So you get there with one action left, and you kind of assess the scene. And you're like, okay, to get this wagon moved, and you feel like you could probably try to move the wagon, like it's a gnome-sized wagon.
Is there anyone inside of the wagon?
No, but the two ponies are hitched to it, and that is going to be a problem. You will not be able to get the wagon out of there until you can get the ponies out and get them to safety as well.
Yeah. Can I try to unhook one of the horses, like with an action?
So here's what you can do. It is 2 actions to unhook each horse. So I will contribute an action, and I'm going to start that basically as a clock.
What
Cool.
if instead of that, because my idea now my safety is I need to throw this rope to you and have you tie it around your waist. So if we lose you, you don't go down the river.
If I die, I die.
Yeah.
So
We're
if I'm
fucking
waiting
heroes,
an
man.
action to throw it, I want to at least throw it towards you
Sure.
and just say tie this to yourself, and
Yeah.
you can or cannot.
Yeah. That's
So do you want to use your last action to do that
Sure.
instead?
Yeah.
So you give me your choice of a range attack throw or an athletics check. So like a range
I'll do
attack roll.
ranged attack throw.
I figured you, the archer, might.
Mhm. Yeah.
I'm gonna tie it to an arrow, just shoot it right in his back.
You know,
Thank
there's
you.
a feat that you can get later called assisting shot, where you shoot your arrow and it gives you an aid.
That is so fucking
And
cool.
for stuff like this, like tie it around the arrow and kank. It'd be so
Oh my
awesome.
god, I love this game.
19.
No problem. You like clinical lifeguard throw. Like the rope goes over Arthur's shoulder. You know, you
Never
coiled.
tangles in the air.
Yeah.
Just
You know the throw I'm talking about? Like it goes over them, so you can start to pull it back and
Yeah.
they can grab onto it. And Arthur, you take it, and you just do the one-handed bowline,
right around.
tie it
here.
on. All right, it makes it Ari's turn.
Yeah,
You
I
see
might.
Arthur, and they're being a fucking
okay, hold on to
hero.
this.
Yeah, I might have needed to say this before, but this is
Oh.
what I want. So I have swaggering initiative now, which means that I get a +2 bonus to initiative, even if we're in an ambush, whatever. But it also means that I can automatically draw a weapon with the initiative roll.
Sick.
And
Now, is this the thing where like you
That's
automatically
cool.
get panache, but you have to go last?
no,
Oh,
this
okay.
is different. That one is also cool though. But
Right.
that one is more so like I'll go last because I don't need to go first. And so it's like so intimidating that you just automatically get panache, which is also cool. But this just gives me a bonus to initiative and I can just have my weapon out.
Okay, so you.
So I would love to, as part of initiative, have like my dagger out.
Okay.
And she's going to try to, if you will allow it, use acrobatics to just like, as the horse is running up, jump off the horse and into the water.
So it
Just
would be
straight into the water.
It would be athletics to jump.
Okay, I'll do athletic.
But and so for acrobatics would be great if you're trying to like land off of a weird jump or like hit the ground really unbalanced. So there's a lot of use case for it. But
I'm just trying to go straight off the horse and into the river.
okay, so here's what I'm going to allow you to count the horse running up as having taken a 10-foot run. So I'll let you. This will be 2 actions. If you're cool with that, I'll let this count as a running jump.
Okay,
This was a really good way to use that roll.
Thank you. And so
patch. I'm going to use Jason's giant
You
die.
belly flop
it.
into the water.
Kathunk.
Same roll.
Same number.
Damn it.
It's okay, I have 1,000 patches. All right, well, fuck those 2.
So good.
Natural 20.
Yay.
So what'd you
Ding,
total?
ding.
Oh, right, so 30.
So you can leap 30 feet.
What?
It is
Damn.
1 foot per result if with a
wild.
running long
You
jump.
actually
Are you gonna
miss.
jump the
You're
river?
across the
You're,
river.
yeah, you're on the
It's
other
just
side of the river.
she like had like 2 false starts and then was like, okay, let's go.
No, so you don't have to jump that long. So you can land on the wagon. So Arthur, you come up
Yes.
gorgeous breaststroke as you see horse-launched Ari just land.
Superhero land on
Like,
the wagon.
Almost slides off, has to like grab the edge of the wagon.
Superhero landing.
Holy shit, that was cool.
So it was like 2 actions. So I have 1 action left.
Yep.
I want to try to.
For sure, you were going to be like, stand right here.
Yeah.
Get
Careful on the edge of that.
that wagon. I want to try to cut one of the horses free.
Okay, that's totally good. So here's what I'm going to need you to do. I'm going to need you to roll an attack roll for me.
Okay.
And then
I've
you have
never
to do some
used a
damage.
dagger. I'm gonna do damage on it.
I believe in you.
Okay, natural 17. Wait. I don't know where the dagger is.
Uh-oh.
It's in the middle.
Ooh. Okay, so a 23.
It's a critical hit.
Hey.
So double damage as you go to cut one of the ponies off.
Okie dokie.
You killed the
Excellent.
Sorry, I
Accidentally
wasn't
killed
actually. I didn't actually
slice
think
its
this
head
was
off.
gonna work, so I
Godfather
wasn't
style.
at all ready
right
for
in its
it.
neck, and it screams out in pain.
It actually speaks common.
Ow!
Tell my children
6
I love
points
them.
of damage.
Fuck.
6 points of damage.
That's doubled for crit.
Yes. Oh wait, no. 12 points of damage.
All right, 12 it minus its hardness of 4 becomes 8, which is its break threshold. So you cut one of the pony's harnesses.
Oh, yeah.
Cut
Nice.
it free.
And it
Cool.
flies downstream and dies.
It's like, oh.
It's not held on to anything. It drowns.
Now it's just kind of freaking out. It doesn't know what to do. So I'm
Your
going to
pony.
move this clock here in the middle 5 turns until the wagon goes away. Nikolai, it's your turn. You see one of the ponies is free,
Wait,
but like freaking out.
I unhold.
Oh, never mind. Lucky's
I
jumping
undelay.
in.
I
Underlay.
I summon Spike. That's it.
Now the ponies are really freaking out.
What a cute little dog.
They
All
don't
right.
even see.
It's 5 turns. Nikolai, there's a pony in there freaking out.
I want to try to convince the pony to, like, come
You
towards
want
me.
to command an animal?
I do want to command an
You want to make a
animal.
little nature check?
I do.
Little nature check?
Little
Check-a-roni?
nature-roni.
Thanks for just joining me on that journey. Give me that nature check.
Okay. Oh, that's 17.
That's going to be it. Oh, 17. Ponies don't hear you. They're so scared. They're so scared, so terrified.
Can I try
Make it
again?
through. Of course you can. That's why you have multiple actions.
That's why I do
Winnie,
that.
Winnie, nay, nay.
I was like, maybe that will...
Carrot. I have a
Nope,
carrot.
then it was even worse. Fuck.
You got 1 action left. What do you want to do?
I literally want to keep trying to do that.
Do it. Yeah, get the horse out of there.
There we go. 22.
Go. We don't love you anymore. Leave.
Get out of here, you
would you
dumb
roll?
animal.
Throw a
22.
rock.
Arthur's
Yeah.
like, are you talking to me or the horse?
Arthur's already having all of this like insecurity about Amiri, and you're like, get out of here. We
Arthur
don't love
just
you.
lets
anymore."
go and
All right, and the horse takes off, gets out the water. Are you commanding it to get away or to come to you?
I was commanding it to come towards
So
us.
it'll come towards you
Okay.
on your side of the river. All right, Lucky, what do you want to do?
Now we have a pony.
I tie a rope around. I get out a rope. I tie it around Spike,
Okay.
and I throw the other end at Arthur and Ari.
Okay.
so many ropes. What am I
Ropes are coming in every which way.
Am I not even in the water? I'm like on the wagon.
Yeah.
You could tie a rope to yourself.
All right. That's 2 actions. You got 1 action left. You want to do anything with it?
Oh, I assume that was 3. To pull it out, to tie it, and to throw it.
Oh, I missed the tying. Yeah. Okay. Your turn, Arthur.
I would say get out a weapon, the Ranseur probably, and just try and smash at the
Get out a
wagon.
reach weapon to use right next to you. Okay.
I guess I
could
do
also
have
see
a
you
dagger.
pulling out your sword.
I do have the sword. That's
He
true.
misses. Decapitates the pony.
Yeah, I can use the sword. You know,
That pony was my one chance to grieve on alone.
Gnome John Wick comes and kills Arthur.
It's Gnome Wick.
that's 21.
That's a hit. I'll say that's a crit. So roll some damage for me to cut this pony free.
Oh man.
Cut that pony free.
11 plus 15.
Total
Yep.
with the crit.
Oh no, 30.
So you shing, slice the second pony free.
I don't think
The whole
Arthur.
wagon explodes.
I don't think either of us were expecting this to go this well, so we were like unprepared to actually roll damage and successfully do
Sorry, you're
something.
good.
Dude, I was expecting one of you to drown by
Can
now.
I use the last action to just try and like strength, just like hold the wagon from moving?
Yes, you can. Give me an athletics check.
How deep is the river?
Like 4 or 5 feet. It's probably 3 to 5 feet. Just fast go,
I
fast
just love
flowing.
this image of like you're all in
Yeah.
armor, like planting your feet in the silt and just pulling.
29.
Ari's on top of the
Holy
wagon, like, oh
shit.
god.
You shove the wagon 5 feet, just even with Ari on it, just stepping.
Ari's doing
Moving.
surfing.
Dang.
All right,
Yeah.
Ari, it's your turn. There's one
This is
pony
great.
that's still in the water. You've moved the wagon is 5 feet closer to the shore.
And
It's
I have
10
a
feet
rope
away.
from Lucky.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm just gonna tie the rope
Okay,
around my waist
one action.
and like jump down and try to like guide the pony.
All right, give me a nature check to command an animal.
Okay. Hope this pony likes me.
Who wouldn't like you? This pony.
11.
The
12.
pony's just
12.
freaking out.
I'm like, come on, pony, stop it.
You roll a 12?
Yeah. I'm like, don't be a coward.
Responsible to B ratings.
Okay. You got that's 2. That's all 3. Tie, jump in, command. 4 turns until everything goes wrong. Nikolai, what are you doing?
I'm going to try and get this horse that Ari's yelling at out of the water.
No, you have to go tisk tisk.
What did I rolling? Nature?
Yep. Command an animal
18.
with nature. That's a success. The pony
Nice.
comes towards you.
Right.
The sun shining behind your back, silhouetted down over the river.
And I have the stag helm on and
Yeah.
I'm pulling these ponies out of the water.
Pony Christ.
I guess what I'll
It's 2 actions left.
do is tie them off. I'll tie them up so
Yep.
they don't run away.
2 more actions, 1
Yeah.
for each. All right, Lucky. It's your
Delay.
turn.
Delay.
Arthur.
We're gonna fucking strength this thing to the shore.
Let's see it. Arthur just hulking out.
31.
Jesus
Jesus.
Christ. You critically succeed, and in one action, you shove the cart 10 feet just out of the
Right
river.
to the shore.
Just boom.
Can I just have been holding on to the wagon and just
you
go?
were shoved out with it.
And then swim to the shore.
Jesus Christ. And then give me another athletics check to swim to the shore. You already got Ari out courtesy
Watch
of your...
him roll a 1 on this one.
22.
Nice.
You just really clinical freestyle over to the edge, pull yourself out. I imagine it's like Daniel Craig in Casino Royale, just like coming up out of the water.
I was like, God damn.
I like shake off like a dog.
And remember, you still have your fucking boon from your god. So like the second you come out of the water, your armor's like perfectly dry and polished.
Your hair didn't
Shiny.
even mess up.
No, your hair can be fucked up, but it's because it's just your clothes. Your clothes and armor are always perfectly cleaned, pressed, and maintained.
Lovely.
That's
Do you wear your
Fucking
helmet
amazing.
around?
Probably not.
gotta leave those locks to flow.
Yeah.
Well, it's like the stag helm. Sometimes I like picture myself with it on or off. We should probably get better at saying like it's on my head.
Sure.
Probably only if like I can sense that a battle's coming, you know?
I think riding around the woods, I would keep it on.
It looks pretty badass.
It looks cool.
All right, you come out the other side, and you're actually able to now finally get a good look at this gnome. I don't have the screenshot on the iPad, so I'm gonna have to show you the book.
Okay.
And it also means Jane. You know what it's time for?
Yes.
Oh man,
You see this?
so many of these.
This little gnome.
Oh,
Oh.
Dang,
The guy
you got
on the-
messed up.
Oh,
he
Yeah.
looks a little worse for wear.
So if
It looks like he's been punched in the face for 3 days.
if Jared Leto from Fight Club
Uh-huh.
was a gnome
And has a terrible hat on.
after he
It's
got
a
his ass
helmet.
kicked by Tyler Durden,
yeah.
Uh-huh.
I mean,
I would
His
not be
lip is
surprised if
split.
this gnome died immediately.
Do you want to see another art of him
Sure.
Yeah.
from the companion guide,
I do.
Ooh.
in which he hasn't just had the living shit kicked out of him?
They have a pre-horse. Do we know what attacked them yet? We just had scaly figures.
Scaly?
Scaly
Yeah.
figures. So here is Here he is, a little better. How's
Oh,
that?
okay.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Very
Hair,
distinguished man.
4 of 10, 5
Eyebrows,
of 10. Yeah.
11 of 10.
Eyebrows, 11 of 10.
Famous gnomish eyebrows.
He's got like a cat's eye eyeliner vibe going on, but with eyebrows.
He's got
Yeah,
little
yeah,
booties on his feet.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
His facial hair is pretty sweet.
It's holding
Yeah.
a potion of something.
He kind of reminds me of
And a vial.
McNulty when he was in 300.
Yeah,
I
sure.
I forgot
Sure.
McNulty was in 300.
Yeah, he's
Sure,
the,
sure.
the
God.
shitty senator. That's kind of
Mhm.
with a pair of reading glasses. Is
Dominic
Yeah.
West, right? That's his name?
Yeah.
No clue.
Yes.
His name is McNulty.
McNulty.
Yeah.
Nutty.
We just watched the Percy Jackson show,
Mm.
and Lance Riddick is Zeus, and I'm just like, fuck,
Aw.
man, that's so sad. That
That
sucks
is
so
This
bad.
is the new
That
one,
does
right? I
sound-
watched
yeah.
the first episode. How does the show go?
It's pretty good, and we just read the first book on the Texas trip we were on as a family.
Oh, that sounds like a
Nice.
And
nice.
so we, it's way better than the movie,
Okay.
like by 1,000.
Okay.
Cool. All right. So you kind of make it out of the river, and you see him there. Thank you.
Are you harmed?
Yes, but that's
Oh my God, you're harmed.
You look so harmed.
spits out like 3 teeth.
Oh, God.
I'll regrow those.
We don't have a dentist yet.
We'll
So you
revisit.
regrow
What,
those?
yeah, we'll revisit that in a minute.
What happened over here?
Magic is a thing in this world.
Oh, right.
Yes. We well, I'll need you to excuse. I need to introduce myself first. I am Jubilost Narthruple. I'm sure you've heard of me.
Those were syllables. Yes.
Heard of you?
Jubilos
But
Narthruple.
perhaps you haven't. I'm quite a famed explorer.
Oh, really?
Yes,
This
that's
is
why you might have heard of me.
the Gilderoy Lockhart of
Yeah.
this
yeah.
world.
I'm Arthur. You probably haven't heard of me.
You're right. I haven't, but I feel like I should now with how everything you've done for me.
Yes, I'm Ari. And over there across the river are our friends Lucky and Nikolai.
Hey.
What's up?
What
Sure.
happened over here?
We were working our way through this area, trying to work on another expansion of our maps, and we were attacked by a band of kobolds.
Hmm.
And they seem to be at least endemic to this parts, and
Did they look like silver miners?
no, they looked like little assholes.
It's them.
Oh.
We'd made a deal with them, right? I thought that we had sent, I thought that Nikolai and Lucky went and like made kind of like an alliance
Maybe
with them.
different kobolds. Maybe not all kobolds know each other.
Yeah. Wow, Jane. Jeez. Racist.
The other gnomes are like sort of cheering. They're like, yeah. They're like walking over and like slapping you on the thigh because they can't reach your shoulder in celebration. You too, Ari. They're like that.
You're welcome.
And
You're
Jubilos
welcome.
sort of looks
You're welcome.
across.
Or what?
You're welcome.
Could you please come over? Bring the ponies. Let us Let us look through what of our supplies survived. Let us make you dinner.
I'm peeking at the supplies.
Do you have fish on a stick?
In the cart that you pushed over, you did see it had maybe 200 gold worth of like supplies and trade goods. Like just good quality stuff for an exploration.
Let's kill them.
Take all their stuff.
We need the XP.
And you see a couple of the other gnomes coming back as you kind of gesture at the kobolds, and you do see that along with them are a few familiar faces. And you hear it first because you just hear like a right as you hear
She's like, Amiri, Lindsay!
and Amiri runs over to you and just like spine cracking hug when she picks you up and sets you down. She's just like, that was so fucking amazing.
Oh yeah, you get points with her if you do strong
Yeah,
stuff.
if you do
Yeah.
heroic shit.
She's like,
Yes.
that was amazing. We shall drink until we lose consciousness
Yeah.
tonight.
Oh, you're the strong one I've heard of. Where were you when you were needed?
And she looks over at you.
Ari's like, shut up.
She gives you an up down. Huh. That's all she says to you. She goes back to like instantly rabbit holing with Ari.
Yeah, and we just literally like run off into the woods and start drinking.
I think that's Amiri speak for a girl.
Oh, what's up?
And
You up?
I think Lindsay, Nikolai, Lucky, Ari, I don't think we've met yet. This
We have
halfling
not.
kind of comes up to you. What's your name?
Oh, my name is Arthur Monmouth.
Believe it or not, he's Biff's brother.
Oh. Well, I suppose I'm going to have to add a...
Biff was my brother. It's the other way around.
I think usually it's both ways.
This fucking guy.
Like if
Yes,
A, B...
usually.
It is a thing.
Well, I'm gonna have to add an addendum to my tale now. We'd heard that all of you had been doing well. We'd hoped that nothing poor had happened to you.
You have a tale that includes Biff?
Of course, he helped save my life.
Can I read it?
I can tell you tonight at dinner.
We'll sit down. You read it to us right now.
I find this acceptable.
The only bad thing that's happened to us so far is Arthur. Don't worry about him.
Oh, I'm sure it can't be all that.
We might have a few things to add, actually.
Really?
Yeah,
It's
they're
been
all
a
gonna be
crazy
werewolves.
couple of months.
And I think we're gonna kind of like fade that out. And like the gnomes put together one heck of a dinner. And Jubilost he's a little arrogant, but he's not unkind. One hell of a chemist. He's also a bit of a brewer on the side. He actually cracks open a cask that he's been barrel aging for the occasion.
Dope.
Ari is stoked.
Sharing it around, having a good time with it. He kind of picking up on vibes. He asks if you'd be willing to lead a prayer to Caden Killian for your heroics, and please kind of take this as in his mind. He's like, look, I don't worship Caden Killian, but like, you got to pay the drunk god his tithe when a bunch of heroes show up and save your ass. Amiri and Lindsay are there, and the night's quite a good night. He does end up sharing that he's actually mapped most of the eastern and a whole chunk of the forest of the stolen lands, like full maps.
Nikolai pulls out his like sketchings and he starts talking to him about the shit that. But I also want to ask him something else when it comes time.
What I'll say is I'm just going to kind of abbreviate this. We can handle some of this off air because what's going to happen is that he essentially is let you know that like he'll sell you information hex by hex because you saved it 5 gold per hex worth of maps. However, if you have notes on locations that he doesn't, he'll trade you also on a 1-for-1 basis. Okay. And as the night goes on, explain, he's like I do want to do a little more. Let's go ahead and ask your question first, and then we'll pivot over to his thing.
Well, I guess it can wait because I want to ask him about the visions I'm seeing. If he's mapping them, I want to see if he knows where this is.
So he starts talking, and he's like, "No, I don't. But it's so weird that you say visions. It's ever since we've been here in these stolen lands that I've been having the strangest dreams. It's like something seeps into my consciousness at night. It's haunting me. You say yours, though, is a beast, a bear, yes?
And the vision of a temple by a lake.
That's not quite what I've seen. I keep seeing like a horse in the woods, but something's wrong with it. It's bleeding. It's scared.
I have seen
a unicorn.
And Ari's head like snaps over, and she's like, "A unicorn?"
It's like it's calling to me. Something's wrong with it.
I've had the same dream just the other night.
You've been having dreams?
Yeah, did I not mention that at coffee?
Has anyone else been having dreams?
You guys dream?
Yeah, I had this crazy dream that I was in I thought it was just because of the werewolf thing. And it was that night I had this dream about being in a glade with a unicorn, and something was wrong with it, and I had to help it, but I didn't think anything of it until now.
Lucky, have you had dreams?
Nope.
Hey, I don't have dreams either.
Roll a deception.
It's pretty good.
Well,
23.
And then Ari, I think we'll just ask the gnome, like, have you seen any places that you've mapped that looks like the place in this dream?
I haven't, but
I feel like you're lying.
I know where it might. Oh, there's something going on over here.
There's a side plot.
He rolled a deception and I rolled perception and I beat him.
Play this shit out.
Lucky.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of like gets you to the side and he's like, I feel like you're holding back.
About dreams?
About dreams.
Yeah, they're dreams. They don't mean anything.
Weird visions?
No. Just, I think it has to do with the bite. I don't think it has anything to do with this.
I'm sorry I came so hard at you.
It's okay. This time.
Jubilost looks up at you. A bite? What sort of bite are you talking about?
We all look around at each other.
Well,
there might be something bad that happened to us after all.
What kind of healing do you all possess?
Just alchemical means. Why are you in need of something more esoteric and strange?
Possibly. We have encountered in our town a werewolf.
Where?
He has bitten some people in our town.
That doesn't seem good.
No, and we really don't have the ability to do anything about it, so do you?
I don't, but I have been traveling with someone who keeps going on about a woman with odd powers. Maybe you should talk to them. I ran into this. It doesn't matter right now, but you say you've seen this unicorn.
Well, I saw it in a dream. Do you know where this location might be that it was?
I have an idea, and it's where we're heading next. Look, you saved us, and I owe you this, and I give nothing away for free.
Well,
but my life is worth much.
I say, it's fine.
You should come
Shut up, Arthur.
You should come with us. Help us find this. I'll pay you well.
That I can do.
We have to send a out of office email back to Shattership.
Yeah. I can go with them, and you all can go on and take care of things while I figure this out for a little bit.
And Julius is like, well, yes, let me introduce you to this other traveling compatriot of ours who's been he seems to know lots about things that have been going on here. They may have some idea where you could find someone who.
And you definitely know that this is because Ari just wants to hang out with Amiri. And she's like, please, Nikolai, can I go?
Sure.
Please, Dad.
That's fine. You can go.
I'll be back in like a week.
You have to ask Arthur first.
He's fine.
She's fine. She can handle her own.
I'll be fine. I'll be with them, and I'll come back in like a week, and I'll tell you what I found. But something tells me that this is important. I keep seeing it. Well, I saw it once, but still.
If you will be gone longer than that, please send word.
And it's right at that moment that Julius is like, here, let me introduce you to someone you have to tune into next week to me.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's not the best cliffhanger, but it's what I got. It's pretty good. Thanks.
The Live to Die podcast is a production of Live to Die Gaming. Follow us on social media at Live to Die Pod. Leave a review and tune in next week for more. If you like the amazing background audio and music, all that credit goes to Syrinscape. Make sure you check them out at Syrinscape.com.